everybody, welcome, excuse me, or welcome back to my channel. I am still getting over being sick, so I apologize in advance for any coughing I do. But today I'm going to be going over my 2025 planner lineup, and I am very excited about this because I have not purchased a single planner for 2025. Now, there's a caveat to that because, so not a single thing that I'm going to show you in this video was purchased specifically for this year. Everything is either being repurposed or redated or is like an ongoing project. So I'm very proud of myself for that, because if you've been watching my channel over the last year or so, I have been on a mission to use what I have, try not to buy anything new, especially if I don't need it. And I just filmed my video on how many planner sticker sheets I used up in 2024. That's going to go up next week, I think, but I filmed it before this. And the amount of sticker sheets I got through last year is absolutely mind-boggling. It's crazy. It's so insane. I'm so happy with myself. I'm so proud of myself because I don't think I bought any planner stuff last year either. Actually, scratch that. I did. One of the things that I have in here, I actually bought last year, but I bought it with a specific purpose in mind. So proud of myself for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get into showing you all of the planners that I will be using in the year of 2025. And then at the end, I will kind of talk about the one that's missing and that I will be actually purchasing this year. So first, I'm going to go over the planners that I'll be using in 2025 that don't actually pertain to 2025. So these are ones that are kind of ongoing projects just because I'm backlogged. I'm not caught up on them, and these are memory planners. So this one is my B6 memory planner, which is just a pen and gear dot grid traveler's notebook. And I don't think that they make these anymore. These came out several years ago when they came out with traveler's notebooks during like a back to school season. So I have a bunch of these, and I decided to use one as a memory planner. So I've been doing planning spreads in here, and I am absolutely obsessed with how it's turning out, and like it's so chunky. Oh, I love it so much. But this is, I believe, 2021 through 2022. So I have a 2023 memory planner. I'll show it to you. It's this one right here. I love this planner so much. It's beautiful. I just love it. I love it so much. I love the dividers, love the theming, everything. And I started this. Like, I have spreads done in January. I have spreads done in February. I have spreads done in March, and I think a couple in April. But the thing is, I can't finish this because I have no idea what happened to my list of 2023 plans that I kept track of in order to do this planner. So the reason this is not technically in this lineup is because I have no way of completing this, which is really sad, really disappointing. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of it because I don't want to just waste it. But I have the first 4 months, like, they're already used. So I have no idea what I'm going to do about this. Maybe one day I will miraculously come across my 2023 plans. But the thing is, I was keeping them digitally. I was keeping them on a notes app in my phone. And that note is just gone. It just disappeared. I have no idea what happened to it. I probably accidentally deleted it at one point and like didn't notice. I don't know how that would have happened because I'm very careful when I delete my notes so I don't delete anything important, but it's possible. So I'm like at an impasse with this. I kind of want to keep the rest of the year just empty in case some miracle happens and I come across those plans. But then also I feel like that's not realistic, and they're gone. I'm just not going to have them. This is part of the reason why I keep track of it physically now, so that I can't accidentally delete everything and just be, SOL. But let me know if you guys have any ideas what I should do about this. Like, I could use it as a memory planner for another year, but I'd have to redate it, and I'd have to probably put it like an insert or something kind of with the year on it to explain that I'm transitioning years. But then I wouldn't be able to memory plan for the first 4 months of whatever year I did that with. I could reuse this as like actual plan. I don't know what I should do. But I don't just want to leave the rest of it unused, because that feels like such a waste, because I love the planner so much. But I just have no idea what to do with that. So for now, it's just going to be a sad little abandoned planner on my cart. But I am going to continue working on my 2021-2022 B6 Rewind planner. As for 2024, I have this planner, which is like the Bridgerton one. And I started this planner with the intention of it being like a catch-all planner. So I already have a spread done in here. I only have one spread done in here. So I had the intention of it being just like a basic catch-all. But turns out I didn't really need that. I feel like I learned a lot about myself regarding planning this last year, and I found a lot of systems that work really, really well for me. And having a catch-all planner just isn't a system that works for me, because I don't like redundancies. And I feel like because what works best for me is having a very compartmentalized planner system where every like main topic I need to keep track of has its own physical planner. I even tried Franken planning at one point. It failed miserably for me. I love the concept of Franken planning and all those types of things, but I need my systems extremely compartmentalized in order for it to be successful for me. And I have discovered that for certain about myself this year. And a catch-all planner just ends up being far too redundant, and I neglect it. So it's pointless for me. So since I only had one spread done in here, I figured I'd just leave that in there, and then I would use this as my 2024 memory planner, because I don't have one, and I actually hadn't planned on doing one at all. But I have this planner that I started using as a time tracking planner. Let me see. Let me make sure there's nothing too personal in here. I'm going to show you. Yeah, that's fine. So I originally started using it as a time tracking planner. So like I would write down what I did, when I did it, like how long it took and stuff, so that I could try and get a sense of where my time was being wasted, because I knew a lot of it was being wasted. And then eventually I moved on to this other like way of doing it, where I was using a bunch of highlighters. Let me see if I can find a page for it, where I was using all these highlighters. When did I start doing that? Not then, apparently. Okay, let's try May. No, okay. Okay, I don't know why I can't find a spread, but I was writing it down, and then oh, here we go. Yeah. So I was like writing everything down, and then I was highlighting it based on like the category that it belonged in. And I actually do this now, but I do it in a different planner, because doing it in here just wasn't working, and it wasn't actually like, it wasn't allowing me to see where my time was being wasted in the way that I thought it would. So I kind of abandoned this for a while. And then I think in August, I started using it as just tracking what I was doing. I wasn't tracking what I was doing, like the times I was doing it and how long. I was just like, if I did something that day, it went in here. And that's usually how I track for my memory planners. And I decided to just keep doing that. So I have the last 6 months of the year that I can definitely do memory planning spreads on. And then the first half of the year is a little more sparse, but I can definitely still do a lot of spreads within that time. So because I also did not want to, let this one go to waste, because I also do love this one. I love that the months have this, but then the weeks are relatively neutral. They do have a little bit of design on the center, but that's not really going to bother me. I just figured I'll use this as my 2024 memory planner, and I don't even have to redate it because it's already a 2024 planner. So I will be using this for the spreads, and then this planner as reference for the plans, the things that I did. So, ooh, that's not a great sound. So those are my memory planners for past years, my ongoing projects that don't really have anything to do with 2025. Now we're going to get into the actual 2025 planners. So I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to grab off the stack and show you. So this planner is my mini happy planner vertical. Looks like this. And this is technically a Franken planner, I guess, because this is a combination of two planners. It's a combination of this mini Nightmare Before Christmas planner, and then a combination of this Minnie Mouse planner. And they are both mini verticals. Let's see. I did have to redate all of these, so the dates on the top of the weeks are not accurate, but I redate those as I go. And then all of the months are either dated if they weren't dated before, or are redated. So the reason I have 6 months from one planner and 6 months from another is because in 2023, I used the first 6 months of this planner, but then I abandoned it for some reason, and I did not use the last 6 months. And then in the Minnie Mouse one, the last 6 months of 2023 and the first 6 months of 2024 were just pure chaos for me and not good planner-wise. So I neglected this planner the last half of 2023, and then my 2024 version, the Minnie Mouse one, I neglected the first 6 months, and I only had spreads in there the last 6 months, so it actually worked out perfectly. So the first 6 months of this planner, I moved into the Minnie Mouse one, and so now I have a whole year of unused spreads. So this is my YouTube planner, and the way that I use this is on the monthlies. I'm not going to show you the ones that I already have written in because it's my YouTube schedule. Not that it really matters, but I just would rather not. The way that I use the monthly is I use this as my upload schedule. So if I have a video that I know I want to film and I know round about when I want it to go up, I will pick a day and I will write it on that day, and that will be my schedule. And the way that I use that is if I know when it's going up, then I can, when I get closer to that time, I can plan for when I need to film it. It's easier for me to write down when I want it to go up than for me to pick when I want to film it and then have no frame of reference of when it's going to go up. It's just easier for me to do it the other way around. Hopefully that makes any sense at all. But it also means that I can pre-film really easily, because if I have videos already, I know that I like for instance, for one of my other channels, I do bookish content. So I know that I want my monthly wrap-ups and my monthly TBRs to go at the, you know, the buffer times of the month. So like the ending to the beginning of the month. So then I can pick the day, I can look at the days of the week where I post on that channel, and I can choose the ones that coordinate with that, and I can schedule those out several months in advance. I'm hoping this, I don't think this is making any sense, but you guys, I'm still sick, so my brain's not at 100% capacity. I use this for pre-planning my uploads. Easy peasy. And then on the monthly or the weeklies, this is just where I plan out what I do. Day to day, obviously. And then on the monthlies, after I film a video, I underline it. And once it's uploaded and scheduled, I fully highlight it. And I have a different color highlighter assigned to each one of my channels, so I can very easily differentiate between them. So that is that. And then I do have some, like I have the sticky notes from each of those. I think both of these were like kits. So they both came with little sticky notes. So there's that. Very simple. This planner, I kind of hate. This is from the Target Dollar Spot. I hate that it says 2024 to 2025. The reason I hate that the cover says that is, first of all, I hate when covers have the year on it, because I repurpose and redate my planners so often that it's just kind of annoying, because I don't need that. I just don't. But then it makes it even more annoying because this planner is undated. It's completely undated. There's no dates in here. Why do you need a date on the cover? Like, why put the date on the cover when you, like, and then make it annoying for somebody to use it in a different year besides 2024 to 2025? I don't understand. It's really annoying. But this is the layout of this planner. This is what the inside of the cover looks like. I'm also, I mentioned this before, I think. I probably did like a haul where I went through my gripes with this planner. It was like a $3 planner. So yeah, $3. So I mean, whatever, it's $3. And I get why they printed it this way, because it's probably cheaper to print it this way. I mean, honestly, I don't think it would have been any more expensive to swap them. But this is just what their weird decision was. They printed the first half of the week on the right side of the page. So if you have the planner open, you can't see the entire week unless you're planning the first half at the second half and the second half at the first. Like, there's no way to see an entire week all at once, unless you're planning all cattywampus, which I'm not going to do. So it's really annoying. I would never use this planner to like actually pre-plan, because that would be annoying as heck. So what I'm going to use this planner for is the same thing that I ended up using this one as. This is going to be where I track everything that I do each day, so that eventually I can transfer that into 2025 rewind spreads. So this will work well for that. And I think I'll probably end up being able to do more than a year in here. I think this has like 2 years worth of weeks, maybe somewhere around there probably. I don't know, but I will be using it at least for this year. I just wish, like, if they had just swapped this, like the sides that the designs go on, you could end up with Monday through Wednesday here and the second half of the week here, and you could have like a full. I don't know why they didn't do that. Whoever designed this was just not thinking at all. I don't think whoever designed this actually uses planners, because this is honestly kind of ridiculous. And it wouldn't have been any more expensive for them to. The only thing is, when you start the planner, there's no like cover page or anything. So when you start, because every single page is exactly the same. So when you start the planner, this is what you see. Like when there's only one page, this is what you see. And I think that that's where they were coming from, is when you open the planner, it makes more sense to your brain to see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday than to see the second half of the week and like people potentially be confused. I just think it's dumb. Anyway, enough of that. And it does say school on the front, which obviously I'm not using this as a school planner, but I don't care. This is just gonna hold my memories and the things that I did. Not a big deal. Annoying, but not a big deal. This is my wellness planner, excuse me, which is, again, another repurposed and redated planner. So, this is what my spreads look like. I do videos each month on me decorating 1 month. Like I decorate an entire month at a time because I just use the same process for every page. The stickers that I use may change, but the structure stays the same. So I just decorate a whole month at a time. And this, I just track my meds, my water intake, and then these rows of stickers right here are where I meal plan. So this is where I write what I plan to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then these gaps right here that have just like this little anchor sticker are where I write what I actually ate. And then this bottom section tends to change depending on what stickers I have, but I always track my fruit and vegetable intake down here. And then on top of that, I track my steps. And the stickers don't always make logical sense, but I know that that's where I put my steps. So I'm going to put my steps there. And then I have these number of miles. I'm only using those because I had them and I might as well use them. And that's why this looks different, because this is where I ran out of these like total calories burned trackers. So the bottom of this tends to ebb and flow like there, you can see, but the basic structure is the same, and then I just decorate the top. This January that I'm using was like a fully undated month. So it didn't have any dates at the top. So I just put deco stuff, which is usually what I do to cover up the dates. There's no dates there though. And then I just decorate the sidebar. Sticker chaos, and it gets me through a bunch of stickers. This one's a little different because I ran out of hydrate stickers. I have since found a little bit more, but I have this like sidebar hydrate tracker here, which is not typical, but I'm using what I have. So then I will go through also these. I don't know if I'm going to keep these stickers on here or not, but they were already in here. Because I was using this as a wellness planner, I guess, at one point before I redated it. And I redate the weeks as I go, but all the months are redated. But yeah, and then I just put some meal plan stickers here because I meal plan on Sundays and I had them, so I figured I might as well use them up and put them down while I saw them. And yeah, so that's all that is. I just keep track of my meds, meals, and then the perpetual calendar at the front. This one right here. This planner was originally a July start planner, which is why the perpetual calendar thing. This is not even really a perpetual calendar. This is just like the list calendar. I don't know why I called it that, but started on July. I am starting this planner in January. So all I'm going to do is write down the information on this other side. And when I need the second half, I'll just flip to here. It doesn't really matter. But because it's printed on the back side of this, there's no way for me to like flip flop them. But this is where I track my weigh-ins. And yeah, so there's really nothing else to it. That's pretty much it. So I may end up, again, kind of changing what I track down here, the information down here, depending on the stickers that I have. And I do have some other stickers that I just haven't gotten to yet because I'm trying to use up the ones that I prefer first. But if you watch the videos where I decorate this, you can see how that evolves over time. But that is my wellness planner. Excuse me. This planner right here, I used last year, was it 2024? I'm actually not certain if this was 2024 or 2023, but I think it might have been 2023, but it doesn't really matter. So this is a planner that I got for Christmas. No, it must have been 2024. No, I got this the Christmas of 2022. So I probably used it in 2023. So, let's see. I have dated it. So, let me see. January. Okay. So I have dated it. I think does it go through December? How far does it go? Oh no, this only goes through June. So when I get to July, I will have to figure something else out, but this is going to be my work planner. And this is all I need for a work planner is just a monthly with some notes pages, then a monthly with some notes pages. This is a perfect setup for my work planner. Anyway, I kind of didn't finish my thought. Sorry, that's a regular thing with me. This came in a kit from Five Below, and I did see it again this past year. So, or this past like holiday season. So they probably still have them there. It's a planner. It comes with like the puffy stickers and a pen, and I think a couple other things. And it comes completely undated. No months, no like days in here or anything like that. It's just a very simple planner, but it works perfectly for this purpose for me. And the way that I use it is I will write down my tasks when they're when I need to get them done by. I'll put them like whatever the deadline is, I will put it on the corresponding day on the monthly. And then this is an example of what the notes pages look like. I just decorate them, and they're like they're just to-do lists. And I just decorate them because I like decorating. So it just ends up being like giant to-do lists, and I have, you know, plenty of space for that. I don't usually end up using all of the notes pages, honestly. Like this is usually enough, but I have it if I need it. So I have gone through and dated all of the months for the next 6 months. So that is my work planner. This is not technically a planner, but I will be using it as kind of one. So I love this. I got this at Spirit Halloween last year in 2024, and I just love it. And then I was racking my brain trying to I knew the setup I wanted for this planner. So this is going to be my spiritual planner. I knew the setup I wanted. All I wanted was a planner that had all of the months, just like monthlies, all at the front, just like back to back to back, all the monthlies for the year. And then notes pages after that, just notes pages, just a bunch of notes pages. I scoured the internet. I don't think that planner exists. It would be very similar to this one, except for instead of the notes pages dividing each month, it would just be all the months and then notes pages at the end. You know what I mean? And I could use something like this, but what I want is like a free flow. So I want to be able to mark tasks on the days that I want to do them in a monthly spread. But then I also want to be able to take notes and write down my thoughts and everything in like a free flow form. I don't want to be confined to a certain amount of notes pages each month, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do, I haven't done it yet, but what I'm going to do is I will be printing off some monthly pages and pasting them in here. And I will just do that at the front for all 12 months. I might put some tabs in here for the months. I'm not sure yet. But then once I do all of that, once all the monthlies are in there, then this is just going, like the rest of this is just going to be like free flowing notes of like things that I learn, ideas that I come up with, workings that I do, the results of them. I do have other like pre-made kind of like workbook type things and journals and planner-ish type things for the type of spiritual work that I do. But I just wanted something super simple. A lot of those are very like workbook style and based. I'm just not ready for that. I just want something super simple, super free flowing for this year. So I know that was very vague, but that's how I'm going to use this. If you guys know of a planner, like a pre-existing planner that you can purchase, that is that setup that I described, please send me a link in the comments or tell me what it is and I will find it. I just cannot find it anywhere. And it's totally fine because I can make it very easily. And I think that like doing it in this notebook is just perfect. But if I ever want to continue this system and I don't want to make it and it exists already, I may purchase it for future years. Anyway, that's that. Excuse me. This is another Target Dollar Spot planner that I bought at the same time as the other one. This one is less annoying because literally every single page is exactly the same. It's a week on one page. So that's what it looks like. That's what the spread looks like. It gives you horizontal for the weekly. You have, you can write down the dates here. A like top 3 goals for the week and then a notes section. And this is going to be my like chores / cleaning tracking planner. And I debated whether or not I even wanted to do anything like this because I felt like, I can just, write down a list of cleaning stuff that I want to do. Like in my other planner, like there's a small little section off to the side that I don't usually use. I could just write a list there. But then I was thinking like, that's in a daily and I kind of want like a weekly view of everything that I want to get done. And then that way I can also base how many cleaning tasks I do in a day off of how busy I'm anticipating like the days of my week to be. So I really wanted just a very simple weekly layout where I could just assign the cleaning tasks for each day. And then also if I did it in a list, but I want to do like, there's one task, it's going to take multiple iterations to complete the task. It kind of gets, the list just starts getting too long for that little area. If I write down every single iteration so that I can check it off, it just gets to be too much. So this is going to give me a lot more space. And yeah, this is going to be where I'm tracking, cleaning and everything. It also makes it easier because then I'll know like how long it's been since I've done, XYZ other cleaning task. If that makes sense. It'll be easier for me to go back and see what I've done and how long it's been. So that's going to be for cleaning and chores and such. And yes, I'm aware that this is a lot of planners. And Most of these, yes, I do use on a daily basis, but that's what works for me. So I know it overwhelms a lot of people to have too many planners that they use every single day, but that's what works for me the best. So I'm going to keep doing it. This planner is like, I don't know. It's interesting. It was an undated planner. It's a happy planner, but it was an undated planner. It has an entire year's worth of monthlies in here, but it's broken down into quarters because it only came with 4 dividers, but it came with 12 months of monthlies. Came with all of the stickers to date the monthlies. So, let's see. Come on. Came with all the stickers. Oh, I have like this iridescent tape over these because I had to move the stickers around, and after I moved them, they just were not sticking properly. So I had to do that on there. I didn't have to do it on any other ones because January is the only month where I had already put down the dates. I don't think I had to do this on any other month. No, I don't think I did. So I just have it, since it only has 4 dividers, I have it broken down into quarters. So there's 3 months within each divider, and it came with like the dates and the month and like a bunch of stickers and stuff. Like I also have all these extra stickers still. So yeah, this is going to be my writing planner. And in here I have this Planner 2025 writing schedule workbook that I have not done yet. But this is from Heart Breathings. If you go to her YouTube channel, there's usually, I think, a link in the description of her videos that sends you to a place where you can sign up for her email list. And then once you do that, you get access to her archives of free workbooks and stuff. So this is where that's where I got this. So I do still need to work on that, but this is going to be my writing planner. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to be using it yet, but I think I'm going to be tracking my like word count and tasks on the monthly. And then it just has a bunch of notes papers in between the months. So like, let's see, where's February? So it has like a dashboard, and then after the dashboard, you have the monthly, and then in between that, you just have a whole bunch of notes papers. Or I put the notes papers in between these because it didn't have the notes papers. Like it just had them in a stack in the back, I'm pretty sure. But I think maybe I will use this for like note taking and working out like plotting issues and just working things out and getting it out of my brain and into like the physical world to keep track of. I think that's how I'm going to use the notes pages, literally just note taking. And then I don't think I'm going to use this to pre-plan. I think I'm just going to use it to track what I actually did. I think. I'm still not 100% sure. I just know I'm going to use this for my writing. So I may, like if I just did plotting that day and I didn't actually write anything, I'll just write, plotting, and I may put like how long, like how much time I spent doing it. And then if I do write, I'll put the word count, or if I edited, whatever. So I feel like that's as best as I can do on explaining that one. I was going to say it's pretty self-explanatory, but chaos here. Total chaos. Okay, the next 4 planners, I will only be using one of them at a time. So it's not as much as it looks like. But these are going to be my HB90 planners, and the HB90 system is a planner system made by Sarah at Heart Breathings, the same person who made the writing thingy that I need to fill out. In 2024 was the first year that I used the system, and the system is working really well for me. And I printed it out and like punched it and put it into a like Happy Planner disc system. And that worked really well. I really liked that. The thing is, I ended up having to buy covers and dividers and discs in order to set the system up. And this year I really want to buy as little as possible. So here's what I'm doing. And it's a little chaotic, but so this is a 3-ring binder that I got from Walmart during the back to school stuff. And I'm sorry, it's not going to all fit in frame, but the first 3 months, so this is a quarterly planning system. So the first 3 months I have all printed out, like these are the pages from the system. I haven't done, so all this right here is like the planning portion, planning out your quarter. I haven't done that yet, but this is what I'm going to use for the first quarter. So the way I had it before is I ended up with 2 planners. Each one had 6 months worth in it because it has monthly, weekly, and daily pages in here, plus the whole workbook in the front. So it gets pretty bulky. I bought this binder because I loved it, and I didn't necessarily know exactly what I was going to use it for, but I figured I could use it for this. I didn't know that I necessarily would, but my plan was to try and use it for this, and it works out. I also, at the same time, bought these dividers, and this just works out perfectly. So this is the first 3 months of my HB90 planner. And I'm a little nervous about this because I do like, with the Happy Planner system, how I can just fold it back on itself and it's less like cumbersome. But this is going to take up my entire desk with it open. So I don't know what I'm going to do exactly about that. I may just deal with it for the first 3 months. We'll see. But that big old boy is the first 3 months of my HB90 planner. And then I did a whole video going through all of the planners that I owned, including like the out-of-date ones, the partially used ones. And I was trying to come up with potential uses for them. And I have 3 other planners here that I deemed as potentials for transforming into a planner that I could use for the HB90 system. So this priority planner, I don't know who this is by. Rachel Hollis, I guess. I bought this planner just kind of on a whim at Target, I think. And I started working on it, I started using it, and I liked the concept. And it's honestly kind of very similar to the HB90 system, but just something about it wasn't fully working for me. So what I've done is I've done a lot of whiting out. Like, you guys, you can see how much is whited out in this planner. Luckily, I only had to do it for like the first, I don't know, few weeks or so. But there's been a lot of whiting out here. And there's like a bunch of workbook pages in the front that I wrote in when I first started this. I'm not going to use those for this system, so I didn't care about going back and whiting those out. I'm just going to ignore them. So in the HB90 system, this is a spread that you get at the beginning of each week. You have a space to write down like a task list for all 3 of your goals. And then you can write out each task and the task blocks that you estimate that it's going to use and that they actually use. And you can do the totals down here, yada, yada. I really rely on this spread. So I knew that this specifically, not just something like it, this specifically had to be in here. And I did that by covering up there's like a weekly review page at the end of every week. And I just covered those with this because I don't need that weekly review page. And then you have a monthly, which I honestly don't even really use the monthly spreads in the HB90 system. I mostly use this spread and the dailies, and then sometimes I use the weeklies, but I have the monthlies here if I need them. Then I went through and did a lot of whiting out. There is this like weekly at a glance situation, and I didn't have anything that I needed to put in here that I would have like covered this up for. I don't know that I'm going to use this or how I'm going to use this or what, but I did go through and white it out just because in case I plan on using it. The whiting out is very messy. I get that, but it's only for like the first month-ish. So I'm just going to, push through it. The dailies are set up quite a bit different compared to the HB90. So let me show you what the HB90 dailies look like. They look like this. So you've got the day of the week, a space to write the date. You have spaces for like top 3 tasks. You have an hourly here, and then you just have 3 spaces that you can utilize however you want. The way that I use this is if I have like appointments or I need to make specific phone calls, or there's like a very important task for the day, that's what I will write up here. I use the hourly for my time tracking now. And this is the way that I have adapted that other system that I started in the first planner that I showed you. So I write down what I did at the time that I did it, and I will block off however many like task block lines it took me, which is just in like a half-hour block of time that the system calls task blocks. And then I will highlight all of the task blocks that task took with the highlighter that corresponds to the goal that it pertains to. Hopefully that makes sense. And then here I will write out all of the tasks that pertain to my specific goals for the day up here. And usually it doesn't take more than this, like half of this box. So in this section is where I was talking about writing my cleaning list, but it often ends up being too long for this. So it's just easier to have another planner for that, whatever. So I don't know what I'm going to use this for. I could just leave it empty. But this section here and the bottom half of this section, I started this system where I realized that even with, what's happening here? Why is that not closing? Going on. I realized that even with tracking the time tracking and the hourly, even with doing that, it was still really difficult for me to see where I was wasting time. So while I could see if there were any gaps in my time, I would only be able to see that there was a gap and how big the gap was, but I'd have no record of what I actually did in that time. And I had no record of if that time was being used productively, but just not necessarily for my top 3 goals, or if that time that was missing was being completely wasted. So I came up I don't even really know how to explain how I came up with this, but I called it the antimatter system. And essentially, matter, it's matter versus antimatter. And I know this doesn't actually make any sense, but it works for me. And I'm not advocating for other people to use this system because honestly, it probably isn't going to make sense to very many people besides me. So the antimatter tracking system works as such. I have in that top section was, like I said, where I would track my tasks that pertain to my specific top 3 goals. Now, that doesn't mean that those are the only things I do during the day that are productive, that are a productive use of my time. And I count productive use of my time as anything that is a necessary time expenditure. So the time that I spend cooking, preparing meals, and eating, that's a necessary time expenditure because I have to eat, right? Like, I gotta cook my food, I gotta eat. And things like spending quality time with my son, that's not a waste of time to me. That is a necessary time expenditure. It's necessary for our relationship. So that counts as, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Anything that is pertaining to my top 3 goals that I do during the day are the matter tasks. So those are the things that I have planned for the day. They're set in stone. I need to get these things done. That's matter. The antimatter is anything else I do in the day, whether it's productive or not. And I track that as my antimatter activities in here. And I do track my antimatter activities in my time tracking on my hourly. But I also want to list them here. And then I put how much time I spent on each one of them. And then at the end of the day, I will go to my antimatter tracker. I keep track of the time I woke up, the time I went to bed. Then I calculate the amount of waking hours for that day. I subtract all of the matter from that. And then I calculate the amount of time spent on productive use of my time. So I look back at the activities that I did. They're all mixed together, productive and non-productive. I take all of the productive ones, calculate how much time I spent on those, and then, here, actually, let me get my old planner. I feel like it's so hard to explain a system that I've only been using for like a month and really just doesn't make a ton of sense, honestly, if I'm being honest. Okay, so this is what these pages look like. This is, the visual is going to help, I'm sure. So this is how my time tracking looks. Up here are all of my matter activities. These are all of the activities or tasks that I need to do that pertain to my specific goals. Down here is everything else I've done during the day. If it's a productive task, so like my morning routine and planning, breakfast, dishes, lunch, prepping for a video, dinner, grocery shopping, time with my son, spending time with my rabbits. Like, those are all necessary time expenditures. I spend some time on TikTok and on YouTube, and those are not necessary time expenditures. So anything that is deemed necessary has its own color, and then anything that's like any space that's not highlighted is like unnecessary time spent. And so this system I started because I really wanted to see how much time I was wasting and where that time was going. I wanted to see how much of the time that I spent not doing, like not working towards my goals, how much of it was actually being wasted and how much of it was like I was actually doing things that needed to be done. Anyway, I feel like I'm over explaining a little, but So down here in the tracker, my waking time for the day, what time I went to sleep. Usually I will end up filling this out the next morning so that I know like what time I went to sleep. But in the morning I will put the time that I woke up. So then obviously I calculate that. That gives me, I was awake for 16 hours and 30 minutes that day. Matter was 6 hours. That is all of this time right here. Gross antimatter is all of the time I have left after I subtract the matter time. And then the net antimatter is how much time was spent on non-productive, unnecessary time expenditures. Pretty much. So the quote-unquote wasted time of the day. So that would have been 2 hours for this day. I'm hoping this is making a lot of sense. It makes sense to me, and it's been really working because since I've been tracking it, the amount of like wasted time in the day that I have has gone down drastically. When I first started tracking this, I had like on this one, let's see, can I show you this? Yeah. This day, 13 hours and 45 minutes of wasted time. Literally. 9 hours and 30 minutes of wasted time. 9 hours and 45 minutes. And like, the thing is, I struggle with like time blindness, if you want to call it that. And like maladaptive daydreaming and just stuff that makes it really hard for me to know where my time went if I'm not making that time extremely visible. So this antimatter system has allowed me to make my time extremely visible to me. And now I waste very little time in the day, which is great. So it's probably nonsensical to most people, but it's working for me. So I'm going to keep doing it. So what I did was, this was like a, I don't know. I don't even remember what was here, but it was like a section that I knew I wasn't going to need. So I just printed out this little thing that I made to take the place of those two boxes. And then I'm left with this like 5 to Thrive checklist, which I don't know that I'm going to use. I can write the date up here. This is like empowering belief. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use this. I don't know if I'm going to use any of the other stuff on this page, honestly. I just left it just in case. But this is where I'm going to do the majority of my tracking. So the thing that's going to be a little tricky is I need to come up with a way to use this for my time tracking and my task planning. So like the list of tasks that I had, I need to find a way to use that, like do that on here. Maybe I could just put that in here instead. We'll see. I don't know yet, but this is how this is set up now. So it has the 2 things that I need the most. Well, the 3 things that I need the most in hourly, the antimatter, and then the weekly task pages. So it did make this extremely bulky, putting those like antimatter things all at the bottom. It made this extremely bulky. It's like bulking out the spine, but I don't care because I'm probably not going to end up using stickers in this at all, so it won't get any bulkier. I'm just going to be writing in it. But this is going to be probably for Q2 because it's already set up. Q3, I will be repurposing this planner. This is, what is it even called? I don't remember. Like adventure something. The Hero's Journal. So this is what this planner is called. This is going to make me a little sad. So there are pages in here that I'm going to have to cover up, which makes me really sad because the art in here is just so fun. It's so cute. And this is what the daily pages look like. It is literally just a bunch of undated daily pages. You do have some weekly like reflection pages and stuff like that at the end of each week. And this has 3 months worth of spreads, and you have like pages like this, which are just so cute. But the way I'm going to transform this into something that will work for me for the HB90 system is on these weekly reflection pages is where I'm going to put those other 2 pages. So the 3 goal task list and then the task block tracker. Those will go here at the beginning of each week. And then I already have those printed out, so I am going to do that. I'm going to put those in here because I know for sure I'm going to want them. But on the dailies, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put the antimatter tracker in here. I'm not going to do it yet because it's working for me now, but it is a very new thing that I'm doing. So I have it set up for Q2, and I can set it up very easily in the HB90 pages for Q1. So I'm gonna leave it at that for now. And when I get to Q3, if I'm still sticking with it, I will print out some of those antimatter like little rectangles and I will put them probably right here. And then I will have the hourly section here for my task tracking. Right here, I can put my goal tasks, and then my like top 3, whatever I can put here. And then I don't know like what I'm gonna do with this here or like that, but again, it's just I'm trying to make what I have work. And I had used this at some point, like I started using it. So again, I did have to do a bunch of whiting out, but it's not that big of a deal because it's not in that much of the planner. So I haven't set this up yet, but it's going to be set up in a very similar way to the one I just showed you. The thing is, it's going to make it really bulky. And that's part of the reason I don't want to put the antimatter things in there yet, because if I end up not needing it, it's not really going to hurt anybody to have this gone, but it'll make it really, really bulky. And if I'm not using it, it's not worth having the bulk in there. You know? I am kind of sad, honestly, that I'm not using this in the way that it was intended, and I'm going to have to cover things up, but, you know, like, I'm making it work for me, so. It is a very cool planner, though. And then Q4 be in this A5 binder. And I have these, which I'm going to use as my dividers. And then I have this like really old recollections thing of daily pages. So, and whenever I set this up, I will tear these out of this like little booklet thing. But it has an hourly schedule here. It has a to-do list, and then it has a notes section down here, which is exactly what I need. Like, this is gonna work out perfectly. Task tracking, like my time tracking, goal tasks, and then I can put the antimatter system here. I don't even have to print it out. I just write a line. It'll be super easy. So I don't think, though, that there's enough daily pages in here for the entire quarter. What did I write on here? 2 months worth of tasks. Oh, maybe there is enough. I'm gonna have to go through and count them, but I will still need to print out the task and task block tracking pages. And I think that's it. Oh no, this only has enough for 2 months. So I will have to print out a whole month of the entire system and put it in here, but that's totally fine. It'll be super easy because it's rings. So, but that would be Q4. And then I have like a little bookmark thingy in here. But yeah, that's it. So those are all of my planners that I currently have for 2025. The only planner that I plan on using in 2025 that is not here yet, I haven't ordered it yet, but it's not in what I showed you, is my 2025 memory planner. I don't know yet. I'm leaning towards, heavily leaning towards, using a big happy planner. And I'll kind of explain my thought process here. I wanted the big because I kind of just wanted to switch up the style that I was using for my memory planning. Just wanted to try something new. But then I thought to myself, well, I'm trying not to buy very much. I'm trying to buy as little as possible. If I get the big, I'm going to need to get some big sticker books. I do have like 1 or 2, but it's not going to be enough for the whole year. So I would feel like I needed to get big sticker books because I know I'm going to want stickers that fit the pages. Even if I use some classic stickers in there, I know I'm going to want plenty of stickers that actually fit the pages. But then I thought, well, should I just then use a classic? Because I have a bunch of classic sticker books. So I could just use what I have. But the thing is, I still need to do all of 2024. And as you saw, 2024 is a classic happy planner. So I will get tons of use out of the classic sticker books that I have in my 2024 memory planner. So I feel like that helped me kind of decide that it was okay for me to get the big. I haven't bought it yet, but I will eventually, to get the big, and then also purchase a few big sized sticker books and not feel like I'm purchasing like unnecessary things. You know what I mean? Because it's not as though by purchasing the big and purchasing big sticker books that I will be neglecting my classic sized sticker books that I have plenty of because I have my 2024. So that has helped me pretty much make up my mind that I will be using a big for my 2025 memory keeping. And that's the only planner I will be purchasing for the year 2025 because I don't have anything else I can use for that purpose in that size. So that is it. I know the second half of this video is probably very confusing, very chaotic, but we are nothing here if not chaotic. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I'm using in 2025. Hopefully it all made sense. Let me know how many planners you guys are using, what you're using them for, what you're keeping track of. I am nosy. Please tell me in the comments. And yeah, thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.